If you go on Twitter, you're gonna see so many Axie Infinity maxis. They're fighting for it. They're fighting against everyone that says something bad, like Axie is their mama or something, and you just offended them. Is this latest update going to be able to fix Axie Infinity? Well, let's find out. Hello fellow farmers, how are you guys doing today? Well, as you saw from the title, yesterday, September 22nd, there was an Axie update where the tokenomics and the rewards distribution were changed a little bit. So let's get right into it. So first of all, if you remember, SLP rewards per fight were cut down to half, and players were not happy about it at all. And as we can see here from the chart, after that day or around that time where they cut in half rewards prices, SLP prices went significantly down, and we had a low of 5 cents per SLP. So a very major dip. But then yesterday something happened. We got a breeding fee update. And why we had this update? Well, let me tell you why. We are facing two major problems in the Axie Infinity world. One of them is that way more SLP is being minted than is being burned. If we take a look right here at the economics, the red candles are minted SLP, the yellow are burned SLP. And we should take a look at before Axie was like mainstream, everyone was playing Axie. No, if we go back to before July, so May, something like that, you can see it was almost always 50-50, and whenever it wasn't 50-50, it was more SLP burned than SLP minted. Why is that? Because there was a low supply of SLP in the market, and there was so many less players, and the players that were getting in, there was still very few scholarships, so breeding wasn't that common for people to profit on it. In this era, SLP was increasing its value because there was so little available. But once we started reaching mainstream media and everything like that, a lot of people started joining in, and a lot of people started creating scholarships for whoever didn't have the money to pay the astronomical $600-700 Axies, which was around that time. And we can see here that we started a run in which we were minting more SLP than we were burning. We can see here on the 21st of July, we minted 200 million SLP and we burned only 37. So you can see the ratio is way off. And if we go to about 2 months after, this number went crazier. We burned only 40 million and we minted 313 million. So you can see right here, just from this graph, whoever knows a little bit about economics, they don't even have to play the game. They don't even need to know what are the SLP rewards, the breeding fees and all that. They don't need to know anything. But as soon as they look at this graph, they can tell you that something is wrong with the economy. This is not a sustainable economy. So people that saw that, people that understood the tokenomics and the economics of the game, they knew that this is going to cause a major problem in the long run. Probably not right now, because people are still buying, people are still selling, but in the long run, this is going to be a problem because it's going to cause hyperinflation, not only into SLP, but also with Axies as well. So how do we fix it? Or how can we start fixing it? There's no way to just do one thing and fix it, but how can we start fixing it? And that's what this update is about. We can see that now it's going to cost only 1 AXS to breed. Before it was 4, and then there was an update and then it became 2, and now there's another update and it's going to become 1, and the SLP cost doubled. So if we scroll down, we can see that the SLP cost per breeding doubled the amount it was before. And why is that? Because as we saw in the chart, there's way too much SLP in the market, and they need to burn some of it. Not some of it, a lot of it. On the last video, I said it would be a good idea if you can burn Axies, you can merge them to other Axies to upgrade their stats. That would be a great SLP sink. So you would have to spend SLP and an Axie to forge a bigger, better Axie. So if you read the article, I'm gonna leave it in the description. I'm not gonna go through the article. I'm not gonna go through the article so in depth. But basically, what they're saying is the only way you can get SOP is through fighting, is through playing the game, and the only way you can get a new Axie is by breeding. There's no automatic generation of any of those. There needs to be human input to create Axies and to create SOP. But there are a lot of players involved into this right now. So what is happening is there's a surplus of SOP and a surplus of Axies in the market, and they're trying to slow it down. Otherwise, this is not going to be sustainable after like 5-6 months. It's not going to be sustainable. Again, here we have the graph that I was showing you about minting and burning, and they just talk about growth and how they want to implement this to make sure the economics are sustainable in the long run. So how do we know there's a surplus in SOP, which I already showed you with the graph, and with Axies? Well, if you get in the marketplace right now, you can see there are some ridiculously cheap Axies, $11, $13. What is going on? I'm pretty sure these are mistakes, like people are actually putting, instead of 0.04, they're putting another 0, so it's a human mistake more than anything else. But again, if you look at the cheapest, excluding those very cheap ones, the cheapest ones are $120. A couple of days ago it was on $150, and then a couple of days earlier it was $250. You can see where I'm going with this. The prices of SOP are going down every time, more and more. Why? Because there are so many of them. Look, this is how many Axies are available for sale right now. Well, but how do I know if this number is increasing or not? Well, you can go to you can go to another YouTube channel, you can go to my YouTube channel and take a look at whatever video in a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 weeks ago, yesterday, and you can see that number has increased a lot. Remember when this number was like 4 digits, high 4 digits, and now we have like 6 digits already. What basically means is that scholarships, in some way, I'm gonna be very careful to what I'm saying, in some way, scholarships are ruining the game in the way that they're making a surplus, they're making an over amount of Axies. There's too much breeding, and we know breeders are doing this, are breeding more Axies so they can lend it to people who wants a scholarship so they can play and pay a fee to the breeder. So I was a breeder as well, so that would be very hypocritical of me to say that we should just shut down breeding and scholarships. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying only that there's a high amount of Axies in the market, and we know where this is coming from. Again, I'm not hating on anyone, but after this release, SOP that was on the low end of the 6 cent, it spiked all the way up to 76. I think it went all the way up to 80. And you can see it was around right here when it was announced, and it went all the way to 85. So, and now it started slowing down again. And I think this is not going to fix anything in the long run. If they don't do anything else, they need to be releasing updates probably weekly, so they can fix this as fast as possible. Otherwise, this is going to be just exactly like this. It's going to go up, people are excited, and then it's going to go, and then it's going to start to shrink again. And then whenever there's another news, it's going to go up again, and then it's going to repeat itself. And we saw a rise also in AXS, same thing. It went all the way down to $50.40, but then yesterday, 22nd right here, when they announced the update, it spiked up again, and now I think it's going to be in the 65 region for a little bit, and SOP also is going to be on this region for a couple of days, probably around 7 cents. But again, if they don't do anything, it's just going to break the 7 cents support, and it's going to go down, sink again. So is Axie Infinity dead? Should you play? Should you quit? Well, I'm not going to be the one answering that, because I have no way of knowing if they're actually working on fixing the game like that or not. If you remember, just stop and think about, for example, CryptoBlades. CryptoBlades has a big economic problem and they're not focusing on it. CryptoBlades right now is stagnant, probably around $17 or $18 per skill. We saw it go all the way over $150, but now it's around 20 and you're still not making any money. And what are they doing? They just released CryptoBlades Kingdom. So all their efforts were put into something else, not fixing the economy. So I don't know what the Axie Infinity developers, G-Host and the COO, which I forgot his name, I don't know what they're planning. If they're focusing all their resources and their efforts into fixing the economy, or if they're already focusing on something else. If that's the case, well, Axie Infinity is gonna go in the same basket, which is the trash, as CryptoBlades. If not, if they're actually trying to fix it, eventually they'll fix it. They'll get it right. Why? Well, because there's a lot of players that are very, very, very maxi into Axie Infinity. If you go on Twitter, which I don't usually go because Twitter is a crazy, crazy place. If you go on Twitter, you're going to see so many Axie Infinity maxis. They're fighting for it. They're fighting against everyone that says something bad, like Axie is their mama or something, and you just offended them. So this is a very good reason. If the developers start fixing the game should be alright, because some people are gonna keep playing even if the game needs a little bit of love and people need to be a little patient. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to hear your comments. What do you think about all of this? Do you think SOP is too high? Is too low? Do you think rewards are too low even though we had an update? What do you think, and how would you solve that problem? Please let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like this YouTube video. It helps out the channel. You know, the channel is very recent and it's been growing very well thanks to you guys. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.